coming a little bit closer from what I see on the minimap. And Flash is, of course, Flash, so he moves out just perfect to start defend that right side of the map. So that if BeSt tries to go for a maneuver towards that upper right hand, he's going to find himself in trouble. That is why Arbiters are necessary. You're going to need to do some damage, maybe go for a shuttle, maybe do some sort of drops at that upper end, and you're going to need to economically harass Flash at all times. Actually, pylons and no cannon behind that at that lower left-hand position. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Just now has his 5th and 6th gateways on the way, putting down his Arbiter Tribunal as well, so he's not going to start producing massive amount of forces until a little while later. On the opposite side, seems like Flash is producing his initial science facility, science vessel, I'm sorry. Oh, he has a dropship in there, so it seems like Flash is going to want to go for some harassment, and if it gets straight inside the main, it could be bad. No defenses at the back. Seems like some Dragoons are coming in here. I'm not quite sure whether BeSt knows this is coming, whether he's read that, whether he saw it with an observer. Quite possibly he's had the observer out there for a while. So it seems like he's going to be just fine, going to be able to meet that dropship just as it comes in. Flash actually maneuvering around. 6th Sense telling him, don't do it. Gonna back off. Might have just spotted those Dragoons just out of range. Not only they're too sure. Adding in more factories right now. Working on his economy. Has his 3rd up and running. I mean, Flash on 3 bases against 3 bases when you're a Protoss player. Not what you want to do. Some presence here at the 9 o'clock position for BeSt. I'm not quite sure whether it's just some troops or something else. But you still want to be damn careful. It seems like this whole left-hand position not getting an attack. Only a 1 cannon to defend. Now he's hunkered down. I'm not quite sure whether this 1 cannon is going to be enough. What is he going to drop? Ooh, dropship takes some significant damage. 1 siege tank is going to start cheating against that. 1 shuttle on the opposite side. 2 zealots. Mine's going to get taken down. Yeah, this, thankfully enough, BeSt, thankfully for him, has that all in charge. Is all in charge of that. Wow, I'm just sounding awkward right now. But Flash trying to go for that drop, trying to be harassing. Gonna lose his. No! Yes, he is going to lose the dropship with a tank inside. So that harassment not all working for Flash. Seems like he's not going to be able to weaken down his economy. But really, economically, I can't say that Flash is behind, because 3 base on 3 base, mining fairly well, and Flash has done a very good job of keeping up economically. Look, a bunch of factories, not producing a huge amount of tanks, but still enough. Also, that lower right-hand base has a pylon in there. Seems like Probe might have been taken out before he managed to put up a 3rd one to block itself in and put up a Nexus. But it seems like BeSt is going to go for that lower right-hand position. I really think that's a much better idea than try to pick up one of the mains, the 9 or 3 o'clock mains, because those are much more maneuverable, much more vulnerable, I'm sorry, and also maneuverable. There are quite a few ways to get to them. And especially the 3 o'clock bases are very close to Flash, so overall not the best idea to go for. But it seems like BeSt is going to want to expand towards the lower right-hand position. Flash meanwhile has a bunch of tanks out there, some vultures. BeSt is going to try to do a little bit of mine clearing, try to take the middle for himself with those Dragoons, trying to control. Has some Zealots out there as well. Still don't see. I think that's his first Arbiter right there alongside. There you go. Invisibility. Science Vessel out there as well. And if he gets an EMP off, that's going to be pretty bad, because the problem, of course, with EMP, not only do you lose all your Arbiter energy, and there goes your everything, but a bunch of your Dragoons get significantly weak. It seems like BeSt is going to want to go for this. Is he actually going to do it? Has a shuttle in there. Gets a bunch of Zealots in there. A bunch of them take up the mines. Zealots are going to run in fast first. He's going to do some drops there at the front. I'm not seeing him doing anything. Zealots going to run in very close. Seems like he might have caught Flash out of position. The Arbiter does lose its energy and shields, though, so he's not going to have any stasis. Vultures, however, completely caught in position way at back, and BeSt might manage to do this, pushing in very far into the zones. Huge number of zones. All the tanks going to go down. Flash might be completely caught with his pants down here. And the zone's going to go all the way to the natural expo, going to penetrate right into the main. BeSt seems like he's almost hiding a smirk. I got you, bitch! And SCV is helping to defend at this point. Zealot's just running and trying to do as much damage as humanly possible before this attack exhausts itself. Dragoons at the back as well to support. Is he going to have some reinforcements or not? Some of these Zealots, a lot of them going down. Some Dragoons and a Zealot at the back as well. More attacks coming in. Finally, this upper right position is completely out in the open, and that's going to be bad. Never mind the fact that he lost a huge amount of his army, pretty much all of it, except for some vultures. But now this upper right-hand base is completely vulnerable, going to be able to do some damage. No reinforcements coming in from BeSt right here. He's taking this opportunity to just damage that upper right-hand, pick up the lower right-hand position for himself, pick up his 4th, doing as much damage as possible. If he's finally coming off the line, some supply depot is going to go down. The last one should burn, unless he manages to repair it. Not microing his Dragoons, though, just fighting everything that happens. Still has an Arbiter at that natural expansion trying to do some damage. And finally has some reinforcements out there. His shuttle, I think, managed to do some drops, although I didn't quite see it, but he already has BeSt, of course, being BeSt, has macroed up and gotten a bunch of Zealots and Dragoons more in there. Finally, some tanks and vultures come to the upper end position. The Dragoons have been there for quite a while, trying to do some damage. And all the SCVs fighting in the back, not doing the mining that they so desperately need to be doing. Only 4 of them at this point left, so that upper end position is completely crippled. BeSt still mining on these 4 bases. Yet again, going to go for this natural expansion. Has more reinforcements back home. He's not even utilizing them. Just trying to push further. He just has to be careful. He has all those tanks on the high ground. Flash just rips all those ground forces to pieces. Now this upper right in position seems like he's going to want to push into that instead. You know, if he can't go for the natural, if he can't do the critical mass damage, at the very least do the damage you know you can do. CV's coming off the line, trying to run for their lives because that upper right in position seems completely doomed. The command center has been floated off. And Flash at a significant disadvantage at this point, trying to push out, trying to put a good defensive grid for himself, but he's lost that upper right hand. Command center is floated off to location, waiting to float back to so he can start to get some economy going back up. But still BeSt in a controlling position here. He'd have to make a pretty big mistake to lose, but this is still Flash. You can never count him out at any point in the game. BeSt is also adding in some more gateways. He knows he can macro like crazy at this point. Seems like he's actually picking up the 3 o'clock natural expansion for himself as well. I'm sorry, Flashman has cleared up the upper right hand, so he's going to be able to pick that up for himself yet again. Stick to those 3 again, but still, love BeSt position. Has only 1 Arbiter, or 2. I think he has 2. He's only, I believe, been pushing them out, turning them out from 1 Stargate. That's actually a significant amount of resources he's not wasting on Arbiter. Sure, you don't have that huge number, but he's doing a little bit of something here. Recall at the back. Nice position. This is like a huge drop. Catching a bunch of those tanks in a bad position. This is almost acts like a pincer. Bunch of Dragoons and Zealots coming in from the front. Vultures caught out of position yet again. Also using that shuttle. Very beautiful yeast. Oh, man. That overall bad place to be in. And Flash. Look at BeSt there. I thought he had GG'd, but BeSt just already with his arms out. He knows he's won this. Yeah, even Flash knows at this point the position is way too bad. Trying to mount a defense at this point is a little bit too hard. Just a few siege tanks here on the high ground. BeSt is pushing in all the way. But what good way is there to start a season and then go 2-0 at the very start, pick off Hoja, and then win straight up right afterwards in the ace match for your team? Nothing better to say. Bunch of reinforcements streaming out at a massive rate. All those gateways pumping like crazy. Natural expansion completely penetrated. BeSt just waiting here at this point. Just GG already. I've won this, Flash. You know I've won this. There we go. Caps lock GG from Flash. And BeSt runs out of the boost. Runs out of the booth. All smiles. Give me them high fives. T1 takes their first win of the season. And definitely hoping for a damn big start. For a damn good start to their entire season and round 1. And no slumps this time around, because last season they didn't start off at a very good place at all. On the opposite side, KT were going fairly strong the entire time except for the last round. But still, their position was so strong at the end that there was really no way that it was disputed. But this time around, it seems like that we're not going to have one team at the top almost the entire time. KT just gonna, get their bearings. They know they're still KT. They can beat any team out there. And actually, with 10 teams instead of 12, it makes it a little bit more interesting. I still think there are 6 teams out of 10 that go to the playoffs. But I really think that overall, with less teams, they make it a little bit more dynamic. Sure, it's kind of sad to see less teams out there. And with Ace, you really could make it almost 9 teams, because there's no way. Everybody knows that Ace is going to end up on the bottom, and they're really there just for kind of decoration. Sad as it is to say. But we're going to see how this season turns out. Looking forward to more stuff, guys. And before I go, let me guys know if you don't mind. I can try to churn out like a full set series like this, but it's going to be hard, and it's all going to come down to my source. BeSt sends videos straight to casters on email sometimes. And some are available on TLNet, the torrent tracker, but it's all a question of how, when, and how. So I'm going to wonder, might start also casting just some single sets here and there, just because I might just not have time to cast a full 7-game set like this, because as you see, it takes several days to do so, simply because of time. But other than that, I would be able to bring you just 2 to 3 sets out of matches here and there. So yeah, that's it, guys. Ranching out, assisting. Hope you enjoyed. That was the first matchup of the season. And here's hoping to a great Pro League season because it seems like the Star Leagues are kind of iffy right now. GG, ranching out, assisting. Hope you enjoyed.